Welcome. My name is Colleen Tauke and I'm the sewing specialist here at Fons & Porter. In this Quilting Quickly tutorial, I'm going to show you the block for the quilt in Star-Crossed. If you'd like to purchase this pattern, you visit our website and you can purchase there. We are going to be using a set of what we would consider be modern prints in a very tonal look, more browns and grays with an accent of yellow. So we got 2.5-inch pre-cut strips. We've got one light background fabric and then a kind of larger print, but it's used for the triangles that you see that kind of make star points pop out throughout the quilt. So those are the 2 yardage pieces that pair up with the 2.5-inch strips. I'll move those out of the way so we can get into our piecing. This is the basic block that we're going to create, and then from those we're going to make 63 of these, and then we're going to add some of the star-crossed points to different positions on this block to create the overall effect. Okay, from our 2.5-inch pre-cut strips we are going to be cutting a selection of 4.5 and 2.5-inch pieces. So follow your pattern for the quantity that you need, but 4.5 and 2.5 is the increment that we're going to be cutting off that. You're going to have a little bit left, but pretty much efficiently using the strips up. Then once you've created those pieces, we are going to be using the background fabric that was a light here, and we're going to use those as 2.5-inch squares. And then you're also going to be cutting up that darker for the star points, some 2.5-inch squares there also. Put those star points aside for now. We're going to create just the block itself. So I've already created the very center, but here's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be adding a light and a print, and we're going to just join these with a 1/4-inch seam. And then when we have that, we're going to press the seam allowance toward the print. We're going to add a 4.5-inch square or rectangle from one of the other prints, because you're going to actually be bringing 2 prints together in every block. And then you're going to just simply seam that with a 1/4-inch seam there and open out. And I've got some that are already prepared. So I have 4, and you need 4 alike. So we are going to be arranging those into a block. We're going to put the rectangles toward the center on this block so that we can create that kind of cross in the center, like this. And you're going to simply, it's a 4-patch at this point, so join the first row, the second row together, and then join the rows to create your block. Now, making sure as you go to press, make sure that you keep your patchwork neat and tidy so that you have a more enjoyable time. When things are skewed and stretched, you don't always have as much good luck when we're trying to put the blocks together in the quilt top. So we're trying to keep those nice and neat. Now, you're going to, like I said, you're going to make 63 of these types of blocks from those assorted 2.5-inch strips. And then you're going to be adding some of your star points. So we have some of the blocks then that will have 2 triangles added. Some of the blocks will have 1 on each corner. And in order to do those triangles, we didn't cut any triangles, we just cut squares. So what we're going to be doing is taking a square that we cut for those points, and we're going to mark a diagonal line corner to corner across the block. Make it dark enough so you can pick it up there. And then we're going to be taking one of those blocks that we created earlier, and we're going to be adding those to the outer corners, either to 2 adjacent corners or to all 4, depending on this placement in the quilt, and we're going to sew diagonally from corner to corner. Now remember, that's your sewing line, so when you take it to the sewing machine, you don't need to worry about 1/4-inch seams at this point. We're just going to be sewing right on the line, diagonally. And you could prepare all the points at once and add them in one big ring, so you get a lot of them put on at once. You wouldn't have to break in between and take it to the ironing board. But what we need to do is make sure that once we have that seamed from corner to corner, that we make sure that triangle fills and covers that entire space of fabric underneath there. Make sure you open it all the way up to the seam. We can take it to the ironing board and then make sure that we get a good press on it. People want to skip the pressing part of it, but that's part of the work of making your quilt top come out accurate. And then we're going to come under and take away the bottom 2 layers. You could use a rotary cutter, or you can just simply go with the scissors and cut that away. You don't need the extra bulk. So then if this was going to be in the position where it just needs 2, I would add another triangle or a square here and do that diagonal seam again on this side. So you need to have all of your blocks prepared and then go to the layout diagram for the positioning of each of those blocks within the quilt. And so you will find there are some in the actual outside corners that don't have any triangles added to them. I forgot about those 4. There are 4 that are out in the outside corners. Anything that runs along an outer edge is one of those that only has 2 triangles. And then there are the blocks within that have 4 of them on. So follow your diagram and have fun making star-crossed. For more of our Quilting Quickly tutorials, visit our website. Thanks for joining me today.